The Golden State Warriors might just be back, okay? Dub Nation is starting to sniff the hopium a little bit. They're starting to really think they have a chance at this finals thing, and in my opinion, there's legitimately something here right now, and they're building something very nice in Golden State once again, and for the first time in a long time, not even a long time, but in a few seasons, I would say they are legit potential contenders. Now, am I saying they're favorites or even likely to win the finals? Not necessarily, but I definitely think they at least have a dark horse's chance at winning the NBA Finals this year, which is a ton more than what you could say even going in to this season. And the main reason this is so impressive because even before the season started, nobody was really looking at them as contenders. And then even halfway through the season before the trade deadline, they were not in a great situation and they were looking like a play-in team at best. But all of that changed when they just made the move to get Jimmy Butler at the trade deadline. Now, this was a gigantic move and a lot of people talked about it, but not that many people probably could have foresaw just how impactful it was going to be. And it was impactful for a few different reasons. And I'm going to be saying in this video why I think the Golden State Warriors as a team have a legit chance to win the finals this year. And I think they can go very far and nobody wants to see them in the playoffs. So if that does sound interesting to you, please watch the video all the way through. Hit the like button, subscribe button, mean the episode word to me. And without further ado, let's get right into this video. So the main reason that this team was able to get turned around is the fact that they were able to get another superstar alongside Stephen Curry. As really since Kevin Durant left them and Klay Thompson's injury started piling up, he really didn't have another superstar next to him. Like he had good players like Draymond, Podziemski, Jordan Poole, Buddy Hield, Wiggins, Klay Thompson even after the injuries. Those were all very solid players, but he didn't have a legit other superstar level teammate, especially because Klay Thompson, like I said, was starting to decline due to his injuries on both sides of the ball, and age was just catching up to him. And that kind of resulted in, although Steph Curry still looking very good and probably still being the best point guard in the NBA, he just didn't look like that MVP level guy we once saw him at in his career, which I mean is to be expected. He's getting older, he has more focus on him due to his team not being as good, so yeah, obviously his production was going to go down. But that all changed as Jimmy Butler, in my opinion, we have seen him play at that superstar level, and I think he is looking much better already with the Warriors than he did with Miami because he didn't want to be there anymore, and he looks rejuvenated with the Warriors, he looks happy there, he looks like he has a purpose, and I think it's going to be a legit superstar teammate for a long time with Stephen Curry, at least for the foreseeable future, and you can see the impact this has had on him, as since adding Jimmy Butler, he has been playing as good as anyone in the NBA, that Steph Curry is, as before they added Jimmy, he was averaging 22.9 points per game, 6.3 assists per game, and 4.5 rebounds per game, and the Warriors had a record of 25 and 27 at a 48% winning percentage. So they weren't terrible, and Steph Curry wasn't playing bad, but they were a middle-of-the-road team, and Steph Curry was putting up star-level numbers, but not all-time great numbers like we're used to seeing him. But since they have added Jimmy Butler to this team, Stephen Curry is averaging 28.6 points per game, 5.5 assists per game, and 4.1 rebounds per game, and they have a record of 14-2, which is an 87.5% winning percentage. So there is drastic differences in even Steph Curry's averages and the team's success as a whole. And even just kind of a ripple effect, Draymond Green's numbers have also slightly improved as well. So just by adding another superstar level teammate in Jimmy Butler on this team, it has freed up Steph Curry in such a way to where he is looking at his MVP level self once again, at least since he's came back in the 16 game sample size that we do have. And Jimmy Butler is making everybody's lives easier. And when you make your life easier on a guy like Steph Curry, that is a very dangerous thing because Curry can gut you if you can't double him and run him off screens and run him off the three-point line consistently. He is going to kill you, and we've seen that his whole career. And now that you can't double him because a guy like Jimmy Butler will also kill you, there's causes matchup nightmares because it's either let Jimmy Butler kill you or let Stephen Curry kill you. Neither one of those are a good options, and if you try to double both, then other guys on this roster are going to be able to beat you because they actually have a pretty solid all-around roster, which I'm going to be getting into a little bit later in this video. But overall, the biggest reason, in my opinion, to why this team is so much better than it was for the first half of this season is because of the just freedom that Jimmy Butler gives to a guy like Stephen Curry. It makes his life so much easier, and he's just overall playing at a much higher level than he even was earlier. And then my second reason is going to be that the fact that young guys are stepping up for this team. Now, they're not putting up like star level numbers, they're young guys, but they're providing minutes and depth that this team desperately needed and wouldn't have had without them. As Podziemski, since adding Jimmy Butler, is averaging 12.5 points per game, 1.3 steals per game, 3.6 assists per game, and 5.7 rebounds per game. So like I said, not putting up crazy record-breaking numbers, but definitely putting up solid enough numbers for the, fourth, fifth option on the team, six-man type guy. Like, Podziemski is filling his role very nicely in only his second year in the NBA. Jonathan Kuminga, who just came back, is already looking very, very solid. Now, although Kuminga can be inconsistent, he's still a great guy to have off your bench. He can give you 20-point nights any given night. Now, like I said, might not be the most consistent, but still is a great depth piece to have and can legitimately win you games if he has a good game. And then even a guy like Quentin Post, who's just a rookie big man who they selected in the second round, is already putting up great numbers for them and spreading the floor and just making it even easier for guys like Jimmy Butler and Steph Curry, because when you have a 7-footer who can spread the floor, that gets guys out of the lane. Steph Curry is an elite finisher, and it makes passing lanes open up, and it just provides so much value, and that is exactly what Quentin Post does, as he is already averaging 8.9 points per game, 4.4 rebounds per game, on 42% shooting from the three-point line and 46% shooting from the field as a 52nd overall pick. Those are amazing numbers. Now, yes, he has his defensive issues, he even has his rebounding issues, but still, when he's in the paint defending, he's not a traffic cone or anything. Now, on the perimeter, he struggles, obviously, but when he's in the paint, he holds his own. He needs to get probably stronger on the rebounds, which will come as he gets older and more experienced. But the fact that you have a 7-footer shooting 40+% from the three-point line with a guy like Steph Curry, who's an elite finisher, Jimmy Butler, who's an elite finisher, Draymond Green, who's an elite cutter, and all this great passing and shooting around him, it just opens up the floor so much that it makes it almost impossible to guard them when they are all hitting and they are all playing at their highest level. And that is a huge part because their young guys have stepped up so much for this team. And then lastly, for the young guys stepping up, you can even look at a guy like Moses Moody, who at this point has been on the team for 4 seasons and is currently averaging a career high in points per game, while also averaging a career high in three-point percentage, and also just overall giving them extremely valuable minutes when they need to, and he's having by far his best season of his career. Now, it's not record-breaking numbers, like I said, but it's just another very solid role player who can give you tons of minutes, has young legs, he's always going to bring the energy, and when you have enough of these guys on the roster like the Warriors do, it greatly impacts their team and gives them longevity, can help give them more veteran old guys rest, and they are able to provide very valuable minutes while also getting better in a night in and night basis due to their youngness, giving them a higher ceiling than most players. So they're getting very valuable minutes. They're being able to rest their older guys a lot more because their young guys can take up way more minutes, and since they're actually good minutes, you can keep them in longer, and it's just all around a huge net positive on the team as a whole. And then my last reason to why I think this team can really go far in the playoffs is because they have an extremely versatile roster. Being able to make adjustments on the fly, being able to do certain things with your team is extremely valuable, especially in the playoffs, because there's different matchups and certain things can kill you if you can't adjust to it. But the Warriors can do a lot of things. They can play big man ball with a lineup that has like Green, Butler, and then either Post or Looney starting in it. Like that's a pretty big lineup. And they can definitely play small ball with putting Draymond Green at the center and then having like a Butler, Hill, Podziemski, Curry, or some kind of variation of that lineup. They can play small ball as well, and that is resulting in their perimeter defense already being extremely good in the NBA, as they are currently ranked 8th overall in defensive rating. So they can play big ball or they can play small ball, and either side, they're a very good defensive team. They're a top 10 defensive team right now in the NBA. Where they are currently struggling is actually their offense, and as of right now, they're a middle-of-the-road team. They're ranked 15th, literally smack dab in the middle of offensive rating, but I think that can improve greatly, because as their young guys get better and as the chemistry build between Jimmy Butler and the rest of the roster, and especially him and Steph Curry, and they learn how to play off each other better, those points are going to go drastically up. And then on top of that, both Steph Curry and Jimmy Butler in the past, we have seen play their best basketball in the biggest games in the postseason. So if they can turn it up in the playoffs like we've seen many times before, their offensive rating can instantly shoot up to top 10 in the NBA. And anytime you have a top 10 offense and a top 10 defense, you can legitimately do anything you want on any night. Like, you can beat anybody any night, and that's when you become extremely dangerous. And I think that's exactly the trend that the Warriors are going to go onto, due to being able to play so many different varieties of basketball, due to being able to play small ball, big ball. They can guard the perimeter, they can guard the paint, they can rebound very effectively. They have switchability throughout the entire roster. They have veteran presence, they have young presence, they have a lot of things they can do. They can play fast, they can play slow. There's just so many things this roster is capable of doing that I think they're in a perfect position to really adjust to anything they need to adjust to when it comes to playoff time. I think their veterans are going to be able to become great leaders in the playoffs, because we've already seen them win at very high levels. So it's not like they're going to be shook. So they're going to be able to lead the young guys that do get big minutes in the playoffs for them. So they shouldn't be too shooken up or anything. I just think overall this roster is very flexible, which is huge when it comes to playoff time. So from them adding another superstar who alongside Stephen Curry, which makes him way more dangerous and opens up the floor for him a ton, from their young guys stepping up and giving him valuable minutes, helping rest the older guys for when playoffs come, and then from the versatility and flexibility of this roster, I think this is all going to combine into one very good thing, and it's going to help them go very far in the playoffs. So do I think necessarily they're going to win the finals? Not necessarily, because I still think teams like OKC, I think teams like Boston, even the teams like Dallas, although I think they have a chance, and even the Los Angeles Lakers are all going to be very hard outs, especially for this Warriors team, but I don't think it's impossible for them to beat any of them either. So would I be surprised if they make the finals? Absolutely not. But do I expect them to make the finals? Not really, but I do expect them to be an extremely hard out, and it's going to be a very entertaining playoff series no matter who they play, assuming they are healthy by the time the playoffs do roll around. But unfortunately, guys, that's my first video. So comment below. Do you agree with me? Do you think that the Warriors can go very far? How far do you think they're going to go? I want your thoughts in the comment section below. If you did like the video at any point, please hit the like button and subscribe button. That's a word to me. Hope you had a blessed day, because I had a blessed day, so you need to have a blessed day. All glory to God. See you in the next video. Goodbye. Boo. Blah.